Bravo, people! Another evil lord sent to hell. And the good news doesn't stop there. Alicia's gathered enough information about the Skittergate, so now we know how to get rid of it for good. And not only that, the bloody thing is vulnerable now, since all your killing and blowing things up have caused tension among the enemy ranks. The Skittergate is less well guarded, and, even better, that cursed grey seer Rasknit and his entourage is off to some rat mass rally, celebrating their victory, I presume. I know you lot want to get your hands on that bastard, but what better way to ruin their party than to blow up their Skittergate, eh? Remember, we do have a war to win. Here's the general plan. I've sent couriers to Altdorf. I have a connection or two, after all, and a savage invasion like this can only be expected to be met by a full muster of the Imperial Army. Since Altdorf is close, I'd not be surprised if Emperor Karl Franz himself would lead it. I'm waiting to receive confirmation on this. In the meantime, it is our duty to strike against the enemy wherever we can, and by any means necessary, impede the work and repairs on the Skittergate. Alicia's using the Bridge of Shadows, which allows us a quick exit. Her espionage spells also work well in proximity of waystones, so hopefully you won't be going in blind. All right. There's no good way to deliver bad news, but here I go. Shortly before my messages arrived in Altdorf, the Emperor and his whole combined army marched north. They're off to face a massive chaos incursion. Yes, we're all alone. Again. The towns not yet touched by the Pact invasion refuse to spare a single soldier of their garrison, and the ones unfortunate enough to taste the fury of the Rotbloods and Clan Fester have nothing but dead to offer us. History repeats itself, friends. Once again, it's all up to us. But we did it before. We can do it again. Shame about your knightly order, sir. I've some more details now. The Order of the Reichshammer fought off a night of Skaven assassinations and a follow-up assault. They gave the Ratmen a real kicking, apparently. But en route to Helmgard, the whole Order, not that there were many of them, was surrounded by a massive horde of the Rotbloods. Every Northlander who arrived before the Skittergate started spitting out Northlanders in bits and pieces. One final valiant charge for the Reichshammer, and yeah, that was the end of that. Welcome to our keep. Not as homely as the Red Moon, perhaps, but it's safe, secluded, and sturdier than it looks. Most importantly, it's ideal as a secret base from which to wage a war of resistance. Or rather, Alicia has made it ideal. The portal she opened up to bring you here is powerful Ulgu magic. The Bridge of Shadows. It's what we'll use to get you people to where you need to be. A lot quicker than our old cart, I tell you. So take a look around the place, and when ready, have a gander at the map. There's always work to do. Now, there's a sorcerer lord creating quite a hullabaloo down in what's left of Helmgard. Turns out it's Burble Spew Hailscourge, the same fat bastard who ordered the theft of my book collection in Ubersreich, remember? Alicia says he's conjuring up a city-sized plague mist which will make the Rotbloods stronger and kill any decent folk. So, ride the guildsman's lift into the centre and just stove his bloody head in. No one steals from me.
So, the monolith's buried. I suppose that was well enough done, but considering the collective amount of heroism in this group, I expected a bit more. Can't say what exactly, but truly great heroes never settle for delivering exactly what you want. They go one step further and give you something more precious, something you didn't even realize you truly wanted. Next time, try to surprise an old woman, eh? Now, speaking of surprises, we have one planned for the Rotblood champion, but I'm afraid it's quite urgent. So, go talk to Lohner as soon as you are ready.
Looks like we've made a friend. After freeing his slaves, burning his supplies, and burying his dreams of power, the Rotblood champion is more than eager to socialise. He's sending out scores of scouting parties just for us, and his sorcerers plead to their foul god to reveal our location. These efforts have left his camp a tad bit empty, so I suggest we grab the opportunity to pay him a visit before he and his army shows up at our door. The Rotbloods are digging for something, which means we had to dig too, but through old dusty tomes instead of earth. Turns out they're after the lost monolith of Gulmagak. Cursed thing is said to contain the putrid soul of a long-dead Chaos Lord, and I dread to think on the immense power lurking within. Unfortunately, we'd need a score of wizards to make even a dent in the bloody thing, but Alicia has found a way to deal with it. For now, at least. What can I say? What in Sigmar's, Ranald's and Carl France's name can I say? You did it again! Against all odds, omens, rats and Northlander muck, you fought your way to Norska and ended Rasknit and his grand plan in one elegant swoop. I'm running out of words here, people. Listen, I'll bring out the casks and barrels, and perhaps, maybe, that'll get me going again. The time has come, people. The Skittergate guards have been thinned. The Rotblood forces lack leadership, and dear old Rasknit is off to hold some self-congratulatory victory speech. This is our chance to destroy the Skittergate. Now, just let me finish before you start screaming bloody murder. You must go through the Skittergate and travel to Norska. It's the only way, so listen carefully. If you don't do exactly as I say, you won't be coming back. Thanks to our efforts, the locale's seething with Northlanders who want to find our merry little hidey-hole and murder us all in our beds. Yes, it's alarming, but it's also an opportunity. The search has left the camp at Ussingfeld Marsh lightly defended, enough for us to turn the tables on our Rotblood friends. I doubt you'll find their champion in his bed, but I'm sure you'll manage the murder part. I've had reports of Rotblood foraging parties in the vicinity of Ussingen. Now, that's bad enough, but it turns out some folk were too stubborn to show a clean pair of heels when it all went south. Now, we can't sit by as the crotchety old fools are being shipped off to Helmgart to be used as fodder for the Skittergate in one way or another. Make your way to Morgan's Loft Farm and save as many as you can. I won't weary you with the history lesson, but the Rotbloods have found themselves a long-forgotten artefact of terrifying power. They're digging the bloody thing up as we speak, forcing Clan Festus slaves to do the tunnelling. Even worse, the damned monolith's currently beyond our means to destroy. However, Alicia, that clever old girl, has at least found a way to bury the foul thing, so listen closely. Rotblood raiding parties are cutting loose in the fields around Ussingen. I don't need to tell you what that means for the poor bastards in their path. You're heading to Morgensloft, biggest farm in the area. If there are survivors, and I hope there are, you'll find 'em held captive there. Do what you can. Every prisoner freed is one less slave used by the enemy, and repay the dead in kind, if you follow. A large chunk of Clan Fester are currently camped down in the ruins of Karak Knoll. Now, Skaven are paranoid little buggers, so you're going to sneak in, kill their warlord, and watch the chaos unfold. I'd love a full-scale civil war, but at the very least I think we'll delay the work on the Skittergate. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know you'll enjoy it once you're there. I've some answers, and none of them good. Our Bergenhafen problem's down to a Chaos rune sword. draws fatty Nurgle's eye wherever it goes, and plague follows, plague and worse. One Father Krausman has it locked up in his secret sanctum Maleficarum waiting for you. Don't disappoint him. Or me. Sooner we get the Blight Reaper out of Bergenhafen, the better. Shame about Usingen. The town's ruined, but there's still a job to do there. The Rotbloods are using the Baron's Manor as a storehouse for all their ill-gotten gains. It's filled with food stocks and supplies, and I want you to blow it up. They won't like that, I'll tell you. Use the black powder from a nearby mining emporium, but hurry up. There's a fat bunch of them marching on Usingen to claim their loot. I won't weary you with the history lesson, but the Rotbloods have found themselves a long-forgotten artefact of terrifying power. They're digging the bloody thing up as we speak, forcing Clan Festa slaves to do the tunnelling. Even worse, the damned monolith's currently beyond our means to destroy. However, Alicia, the clever old girl, has at least found a way to bury the foul thing, so listen closely. It caught our attention that the Rotbloods are digging for something. Turns out they're after the lost monolith of Gulmagak. Cursed thing is said to contain the putrid soul of a long-dead Chaos Lord, and I dread to think on the immense power lurking within. Unfortunately, we'd need a score of wizards to even make a dent in the bloody thing, but Alicia has found a way to deal with it. For now, at least. Time's arrived to shut that bloody Skittergate down for good. Rasknit's off whipping his horde into a frenzy, and your hard work has left him short on guards. I know you won't like the sound of this, but to truly destroy it, you are going to have to use the bloody thing and get your asses to Norska. Once there, we have a plan, thanks to Alicia's magical espionage. So calm down and listen good. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but the Ratmen have raised a bloody great bell up on Helmgart's ramparts. Crazy little buggers will worship anything, near as I can tell. Problem is, there's no way to know if this is a purely ceremonial lump of bronze or a lodestone for our Grey Seer's magic. We'll have to destroy it, just to be safe. And by we, I mean you. I need a distraction, and you're just the fellows to make it for me. Ring out them bells, as me mother used to say. The bells in question are in Elmgart's Temple of Sigmar. Give 'em a good clatter, and you'll draw every iron blade for miles around. Why, you ask? Our friendly neighbourhood magic spy, Alicia, needs to gather vital intelligence on the Skittergate. Figure you could help her out. What weighs several tons, draws ratmen like flies, and sounds awful? If you just answered, "Oh, no, not another bloody bell," then you win a pumpkin, you lucky bleeder. Don't eat it all at once, because you'll need provisions on your way to destroying the wretched thing. We don't actually know if that lump they've raised in Elmgart is a real screaming bell, but better safe than sorry. Every Ratman has one eye on moving up a rung or two, and the other on his rivals. So, you're going to Karak Knoll, where Clan Fester has set up base. Sneak in, kill the warlord, and enjoy the carnage as they fight for his crown. It always works. Hopefully, the chaos will interrupt the work on the Skittergate and give us more time. Right now, Fort Braxenbrooker is about the only thing stopping the enemy rampaging far and wide, but it's under siege and about to fall. I need you to do whatever you can to keep the bastion in Imperial hands. The main approach is likely chock full of pact sworn, but there is a secret entrance upriver. Use it and defend the fort in any way you can. We've trouble in Elmgard. Our old acquaintance Burblespew Hailscourge has started to summon a plague mist large enough to cloak the whole town. Good for the Northlanders, bad for the rest of us. There's a guildsman's lift that'll get you close to where he's playing silly buggers. Change the weather foreshowing by ending that thieving lard gut by any means necessary. Listen, The town of Usingen's a smouldering ruin, and from what we gather, the Rotbloods are using the Baron's manor as a storehouse for all the grain and loot they've pillaged. Your job is to blow the manor sky high, and do it soon, 'cause there's an army of those sick buggers on their way to collect their spoils. You'll need black powder, and you'll find it in a mining emporium close to the manor. I should have heeded your advice, but it came much too late, I'm afraid. Lost some good lads near that village I told you about. The Dark Elves were still around, and not playing nice, no surprise there. But the surviving lad, having hid in the woods, came upon the bodies of a bunch of them on his way back. Looked like they had some internal disagreement, apparently. Those bile trolls ain't natural. Rot-blood sorcerers are using some kind of altar to churn 'em out, and it's up to you to disrupt the whole operation with a bloody big bang. Yes, that's right. It'll take black powder to get the job done. I know there's more than enough fireworks laying around in Dreisdunkel mine, so use what you find and put an end to this nasty business. Bile trolls are coming out of Dreisdunkel mine, and I need you lot to interfere. It's hard to believe, but the Rotbloods are turning regular old trolls into those awful bile spewers. Fight your way down and destroy the altar that's transforming the beasts. You'll need black powder, but there's plenty laying around down there. End this show with a bang. Turns out our Bergenhafen problem's down to a chaos rune sword, the Blight Reaper. The good news is that Father Krausman has it under lock and key in a hidden sanctum maleficarum, but that'll not last. Bring it back here. I doubt we can destroy the bloody thing, but I'm prepared to give it a good old Hockland try, as me mother used to say. The Bridge of Shadows has been a boon, but it seems our enemies may have got wise. Alicia says there's interference in the winds of magic centred around an old elf temple nearby. Take a wander, have a gander, and put a stop to whatever it is they're up to. We've a lot of work to do, and we won't stand a chance if you're left marching up and down the countryside. I'm hearing rumours of something nasty creeping through Bergenhafen. It starts out as plague and gets worse from there. Demon plants and tentacles, if that sounds familiar. If it doesn't, you ain't been paying attention, have you? My contacts reckon it started in the Pit, the town's poorest district, so do me a solid and get it stopped, would you? I'm not going to lie, Bergenhafen has a poor reputation, what with one thing and another, but lately things have been getting worse. Plague, sickness and disappearances, the usual trademarks of our packed sworn friends. So, what say you get your lazy arses upriver and see what's what? Take your best gear. I reckon this'll be a sticky one. It's like I always say, give me 5 heroes and I'll change the world. But since I can't find 5 heroes, you lot'll have to do, won't you? What's the word I'm looking for? Starts with a P and ends with path. There are packed sworn everywhere right now, and if it wasn't for Fort Braxenbrooker, they'd be even farther afield. I'd suggest you get out there and make sure Fort Braxenbrooker holds. Avoid the siege lines by taking a secret path down by the river. Chances are the rat men know about it, but beggars can't be choosers.
Ha! That shut that stinking champion up. As I suspected, the new champion will obey the orders from his superiors in Norska. They want him to concentrate on raiding and gathering slaves, not chasing some little insignificant troop like us. So the search for our keep has been called off, and we can go back to what we are doing. A good day for all of us.
Listen, Alicia's got a good shot at gaining some proper information about the Skittergate. She's going into Helmgart, and so are you. Difference is, she'll be sneaky, and you'll be loud. Provide a distraction by ringing the bells at the Temple of Sigmar. Let's allow the old woman to work in peace, eh? Turns out Alicia's having trouble extending the Bridge of Shadows into certain areas around Helmgart. She's traced the disturbance to an old elven temple north of here. I need you to put things right. Otherwise, you're going to be walking everywhere and we just won't have time for that. Took down one of their heavies, eh? Good show. I wish I had some news about reinforcements, but at least I know my messages have been delivered to Altdorf. All we can do is, well, not wait, but keep up the fight just like we always do. So, Carillion, satisfied? Or do you still think it was my idea to keep tabs on your excursion to the countryside? Alicia told me about the Shrine of Isha just now. By Ranald, I honestly had no idea what you were fuming about. Helmgart's lost, folks. But we still have our little ways of keeping eyes and ears down there, and something's going on at the Shallian Hospice. Whole thing reeks of chaos magic. Go and deal with it, would you? Things are bad enough already. All right, folks, we've heard your grumblings, and I know it's tough out there. So we've arranged a little something for you. I know it doesn't look like much, but a prayer to the gods of your choice might just ease your burdens and help lay waste to those bleeding rat men. Listen up. I'm hearing that the Hospice of the Shining Sacrament has received unwelcome attention. Chaos sorcerers, and maybe something worse. There's something extraordinarily wicked in the works, so get down there and put a stop to it. When this is all over, I reckon we could start up a sightseeing tour. See the towns where the Ubersreich 5 battled the verminous foe. Of course, that only works if any of them are left standing. See, I quite like this place, but the acoustics do amplify singing. Sigmar knows I've nothing against singing, but not first thing in the morning. That reminds me, I need to lock up the ale barrels again. Saltspire, about that lecture on new purpose you gave everyone, whether they wanted it or not, you never struck me as someone in need of new purpose, if you know what I mean. Tell you what, folk can surprise you. Had a vampire in the Red Moon once. Paid a tab in full, nary a drop of bloodletting. What was her name? Began with G. I remember that much. Magic? Me? No. I'm all about leisure de man and sleight of hand. Staying one step ahead of the game. That's my magic. Some time ago, my lads reported a village near Bergenhafen that was slain to a man by dark elves, of all things. Bit odd, don't you think? Good news! We've finally got the forge working, so go take a look. Working the forge enables you to improve your weapons and equipment, and, as you know, we need every advantage we can get. Saltspire, it must be a bit of a conflict for you to use the Bridge of Shadows, but perhaps maybe an eye-opener too? I ever tell you that I made it to Altdorf once, years back. Met Karl Franz himself, shorter than you might think, and a crude sense of humour too. Heard back from the Duke of Montfort, cowardly bugger won't lend us a hand. He'll think different when the rat men are swarming through Axe-Bite Pass. Someone's not ready, and lo and behold, it's Kruber. What's your excuse this time? Another bad dream? Bardin, you're late. How in Ranald's name are the others gonna fare without your singing? That's right, get ready. Ah, how do you do, sir? Knighthood is a rare and fine accomplishment for a gentleman of your... Good show, folks. I've arranged for you to stash your gear here in the inn. Any time you want to examine your inventory or change equipment, just access your stash. So everyone's ready except our dear bright wizard. Come on, lass, get ready. I know what you need. Don't you ever get tired, Saltspire? You fight the invasion by day or night and still found the time to ambush that bandit camp a while back. Ugh, didn't get much sleep. Someone was quarrelling last night. You know who you are, and you know what you did. Here we are again. Time to perform some of that daring do that I hear is so popular over the border. What's the matter, elf? Don't tell me you're miraculously in a good mood and don't want to go out and have the world spoil it for you. Still no sign of your Grand Master, Kruber? I mean, Sir Kruber. Or I suppose I should call you by your new noble name. What? Salt's Pire's not ready? If he's having another of his personal chats with Sigmar, our good God better tell him to move his arse. What's holding you up? Oh, I see. Barding again. Wish he was as quick getting ready as he is down in my ale. Saltspire, I imagined you to be a man who leads from the front, not some theatrical diva making everybody wait. You think these days are bad? I've seen worse, I can tell you. And as for what I've heard, it'd make your toes curl. While you were gone, Carillion, I always had a feeling you'd be back. Needed a change of scenery, I suppose. No, make that the company, right? Saltspire, about that lack of funding from the Order. I heard Klaus Kleinfrosch was sighted near Morlenfurt. Managed to get some fresh supplies in. Do me a favour and drink the beer in moderation. We don't want to repeat of last time. Sienna! They're waiting for you! Hello? Oh, deaf old biddy can't hear anything with flames crackling around her ears. Not many friends left these days. You know how it is. Life's dangerous for folk like us. Well, folk like you. By Beatrice the monumentally cruel. Hurry up, Bardin! We're one hero short. Short. What's with the glare, Carillion? Can't be my ale or food. Nothing's changed there. I mean, you still don't touch any of it. Everyone's ready except you, Carillion. Most of us don't have an eternity to spend dragging their eels, you know. Been trying to reach them Ulthwani elves for a bit of help. Well, you never know, do you? Not heard out. Snobby bunch. Another day of rat-slaying beckons. You're lucky buggers to enjoy your work as much as you do. Don't really hold with swords these days. But I had a real beaut when I was younger. I wonder what happened to it. Now, don't go leaping around on them beams again. One of you daft buggers nearly broke a leg the last time. You're still here? Kruber's not ready? He'll be ready, or he'll be thirsty. Real thirsty. Kruber, come on, move that mercenary arse of yours and get ready. No ale for you tonight if this keeps up. Saltspire, you're late, so get ready. Sigmar won't approve of tardiness, and you know it. Raining cats and dogs, eh? To go along with ratmen and Northlanders, I suppose.
Yes, it's me. I'm here to help you escape. And with the Skittergate shaking up this place, the time is now.
So what are you waiting for? Take a moment at the Shrine of Solace over there. It might just get you through the day. The forge is more efficient now. Had some specialists take a look at it. Charged a hefty coin they did too. If I'm not mistaken, Morslieb's even larger than during the Ubersreich scuffle. You go on and on about Lumberfoot's elf, but again it's you and no one else the others are waiting for. Don't worry if it gets a bit blowy. This old place ain't going anywhere. I think. There's always someone worse off than us, and no mistake. Something to think on, that. Bardin! Bardin! Come on! You're gonna miss out on a good scrap! Get ready! Chop chop! I've got a job for you. Guess who's on latrine duty again today? There's nothing beats having strong walls around you, but we'll have to settle for these. Who's not ready yet? Carillion! I bloody hope you're not making some stupid point again. So it's Kruber you're waiting for. Double time, Marcus. Get your stuff together. Still no ale for you, Saltspire. You used to enjoy several of my stock. We ain't no proper temple, thank the gods for that, so our shrine is the best we can do. Don't underestimate it. Oi, do you reckon you can stop throwing those practice dummies off the mountain? Those things are expensive. By the way, Bardin, I had the message delivered to Carrack Norn just as you asked. We're a right sorry bun, didn't we? But we've got it where it counts. Many of it worse. No messages to the order for me to pass along, Saltspire. It's been a while. Come to think of it, we never had a proper celebration for your promotion, Saltspire. You hear those screams last night? Reckon there's a chance this old place is haunted. The shadow magic protecting us works better at night, apparently. Rain won't stop them. We're not fighting Altdorf nobles. Nothing can stop us, eh? Now, get out there and prove it. We've improved the forge, you know. Fusing, tokens, there's more options for you. Yes, I've travelled. But those days are long behind me. A fine day, as long as you avert your eyes from Helmgard. Nice to see you up and about. Didn't think you'd make it back from that last one. We got a bar, a forge, and now a shrine. I bet you wonder what's next, eh? Another shield up. You lot make me redecorate the whole place. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Things could be a lot worse. Remember, go and have a look-see in your stash when you want to change equipment. There's no polite way to put this. You've looked better. Which one of you was snoring last night? I thought the old bloody roof was falling in. Don't stay up too late. I've got work for you tomorrow. So, can I interest you in any mayhem today? A prayer or an offering can go a long way. Or so I heard. Good evening. All is well. Well, not really. Take your time. Not like the Reichland's burning. How is it I never see the five of you together anymore? Good day. And so far, it actually is. Saltspire, aren't you supposed to be the leader of this lot? Don't leave unprepared. Use the forge and the shrine. Varanus Grace, that's another fine banner you got there. Just another glorious day in the Reichland. That's right, take your time. That's what our enemies are doing. Come along then, plenty to do. I'll put up that banner you brought in, see? Yeah, right above you. Good evening. Made it through another day, eh? See? I got your new honorary shield up on the wall. And how are you this fine day? Bit of rain today. Good day to you. Business as usual. The forge is ready. Feel free to use it. At least the sun is shining, eh? New shields up on the wall. It's a beauty, isn't it? Stop faffing around. We don't have time to waste. Those banners you bring back, I like 'em. Keep 'em coming. I don't want to hurry you, but we've got problems. Look through your stash from time to time. Don't forget to check that stash of yours. Paid your respects at the shrine yet? We set up that forge for you lot. You going to hang around all day? Nice weather today. Good evening.